The last prophet in the world, last prophet in the world, last prophet in the world to show how to be closer to Allah. He is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After the Battle of the Trench victory, the bad people became very scared to fight against the Muslims. So, the Muslims were able to live peacefully without fighting at all. Almost 1 year after the Battle of Trench, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a dream that all the Muslims would enter Mecca and shaved their heads for Hajj or Umrah. After seeing that good dream, he told all the Muslims in Medina and in the surroundings area of Medina to get ready for performing Umrah. As a plan, the Prophet started his journey with 1,400 Muslims on Monday, 1st Dhul Qa'dah in 6th Hijri. They took some animals to sacrifice after Umrah as well. They also dressed up in Ihram, the white special dress for Umrah, to show the people of Mecca their true intention to why they arrived and that the Muslims were not going to fight. When they reached the place of Usfan, some Muslim informers brought news that the bad Quraysh soldiers were waiting at Dhul Tawa place to fight with the Muslims. So, because of that, the Muslims could not go to Mecca for Umrah. In that situation, the Prophet called a meeting with some of the Sahabas to figure out what they should do. Abu Bakr radhiyallahu ta'ala said Umrah was the reason why they came, not to fight against the Quraysh. However, if some of the bad people attacked them, only then will they fight. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam accepted Abu Bakr radhiyallahu ta'ala's advice and decided to continue their journey for Umrah. Khalid bin Walid made a plan to attack the Muslims during prayer time. He thought that during the prayer time, the Muslims could not fight. So, before the prayer time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a new law for Muslims on how to pray during a time of fear. And that law was that one group of Muslims would pray while the other group would guard them. Then the two groups would switch so that the other group could pray. To avoid the bad people, the Prophet took another route to Mecca. On the way, the Prophet's camel sat down and would not get up. Everyone thought that his camel refused to go to Mecca. But then, when the Prophet raised his voice, his camel started to move ahead. Finally, they reached Hudaibiyah. At that place, one of the good people named Budail and some of his people came to the Prophet to tell them about the bad plan that the Quraysh were planning. The Prophet told him to tell the Quraysh that the Muslims wanted to perform their Umrah and not to fight. So Budail went to the Quraysh and told the Prophet's wish to them. Then the Quraysh sent Mikraz to discuss the situation. The Prophet told him the same thing. Then the Quraysh sent Halis. The Prophet told the Muslims to make their animals stand up to show their respect to Halis. Halis became very happy. After hearing the Prophet, Halis went back to the Quraysh and told them to let the Muslims perform their Umrah. because everybody has the right to visit the Kaaba, which is the house of God. The bad people did not like his advice and started to argue with him. Then the Quraysh sent Urwa to solve the issue. Urwa tried to convince and scare the Prophet so that they would not go to the Kaaba for Umrah. He said if the Quraysh attacked the Muslims would be scared and would run away. Urwa also tried to grab and pull the Prophet's beard a couple of times. But every time, Mughira radiyallahu stopped him. When Urwa tried to scare the Prophet, Abu Bakr radiyallahu became very angry. Urwa was very surprised to see the Muslims' love, loyalty, and respect to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He came back to the Quraysh and told them to let the Muslims perform Umrah as well. By that time, around 80 bad young Quraysh secretly went to the Muslims' camp at night to start a battle with the Muslims. Luckily, the Muslims arrested them all. Later, the Prophet forgave them in order to continue the peace agreement. In the next episode, we will see how Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam made the famous Hudaibiyah peace agreement and what was in that peace agreement, inshallah. Have you ever wanted to make a big difference to help children all over the world? We provide everything we create for free and are committed